Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my sacred space. This is day 18 of 111 beautiful days that we're all joining in this adventure of sharing our real, raw, authentic frequency and energy with the collective. So it's tea time, so I want to read this because it fits perfectly. Fits so perfectly. I love these yogi tea sayings. So give you a close up. Enjoy the light codes. Source is presenting these beautiful light codes. I've got a couple of candles lit, not too many. I have some incense that was kind of rolling through here. I see that there's a piece of hair on the camera, so don't mind me here for a second. That's really weird. My hair is always everywhere. I've got it a little tied up today. It's kind of staticky and dry out there, so get some water, get some tea. The world needs your unique gifts. Don't leave them still inside you. The world needs your unique gifts. Don't leave them still. Don't leave with them still inside you. Holy hell, check that out, y'all. Thank you, Source. Holy shit, crap monkeys. That's just amazing. So, apologize, 133 on the clock. The world needs your unique gifts. Don't leave with them still inside you. That's confirmation right there. Thank you, Source. Thank you. That's why we're here, right? Sharing our raw, real, authentic frequency and energy. And again, my face is pretty blurred out in this position, but I've been really guided to sit here to share these rainbow crystalline energy frequencies, these crystalline rainbow energy and frequencies that have been coming through in my videos, as well as the light codes that are also coming through in their frequency and energy to be shared with you outside of me, right? Outside of me sharing my frequency and energy. So hopefully everyone had a great gratitude day yesterday. Like I'm telling anyone, I'm renaming that day Gratitude Day. So I'm probably just going to share some stuff on an interpretation, or just basically interpretation or rewriting the information that was coming through a channeled message this morning that I felt, again, really called to. I very rarely do I, get called to just journal. Excuse me, but this message was like just nonstop. Every time I went to go continue to get my stuff around to do my workout, I was like, sit down, right. So that's what I did. I honored those pauses, and this is what my higher self wanted me to do in that moment. And I didn't get out of bed until after 8 o'clock. I didn't get to my workout till almost 10 o'clock. I realized, like, holy crap, it's like 10 o'clock, like that. Literally, like 2 hours, 3 hours. I had been awake for a while, but it literally flew by. Has anyone else experiencing that? Please share in the comments below if you're experiencing time, the quantum time versus the linear time. I definitely feel like I'm in more quantum time than I am in a linear type of time at this point. So I'm gonna share this day last year, and then what came through today. And then I bought this today. I'm actually gonna go get it real quick. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna go over here. So I'm getting it charged up in the sun, and I haven't really activated it myself, but I'm going to talk about that because I'm guided to talk about that. So I stayed home all day yesterday. Didn't leave the house, literally didn't walk out my door. The only time my door was open was when the kiddo left to go to dad's house, and I PJ dated all day. I recorded 4 videos, which is like, again, I don't plan. Higher self and source makes the plans. I just go for the ride. I go with the flow. I go for the ride, right? And when you start doing that, holy shit will shift. Shit will shift. Shit will shift. So I think that was part of the message today. And again, you've been hearing these messages from Courtney, from Zero, from other channelers and readers. Again, it's no coincidence that everyone is sharing more content. So I've noticed, as well as like the content creators that have been put in my presence, the content is upticked. The information that's coming out, that's being channeled and shared, is there's a reason for it. There's no coincidence that you're seeing it. You're not just seeing it in the Divinely Aligned Collective, you're seeing it in other places. So pay your attention. At least that's in my world, that's where I've noticed, okay? So again, hope everyone's doing well. It's November 28th, 2025. So I want to make this note that, again, the channel message that Saturn went direct after 137 days, 7 days. And I was meant to note that that equals 11. Also noting that today is November 28th, which is 2 plus 8 equals 11, so 11:11. So I didn't realize in other past portals, I don't know like if it's actually the closure of the 11 portal. I don't think it's the closure of the 11:11 portal because this is a big portal. But in other past portals, you've got the opening and then the closing, and I never paid attention. Today is also 11:11 because it's 11 and then 2 plus 8. Sorry, no, 2 plus 8 is 10. My bad. What am I talking about? It's tomorrow. 9, 10, 11. So tomorrow. Holy shit. Thank you, Spirit. Autocorrect. Check me. Check me. Check me. So tomorrow, 11:11:29. Wow. But maybe 1010 is meant for someone's key code. So maybe that's why I got so hooked up on that. I put that in my phone and in the calendar. So Saturn retrograde is over. Okay, after 137 days, we've been in a lot of planets have been in retrograde. We've been through a massive retrograde season this year. Again, that's no coincidence. Again, I don't know the depths of all of that. If you are cool and you understand that more, I only get the bits and pieces. And so tomorrow is 11:11. 9 plus 2 is 11. So thank you, Source, for correcting me on that. So I just wanted to note that. 555 showed up today and 444 showed up pretty quickly this morning. I'm going to take another drink. I don't know if there'll be any... I am going to pull a couple oracle cards for this read. And then if I feel called, I'll do a card pull later, or some light language if it wants to come through. Something was kind of coming through on what type, like, or for what. And I think it was like standing in your personal power, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to force it. I'm going to sit on it and see if something else comes through. Like, I don't know what the light language is going to be, but like what it's addressing. Thank you. Thank you, Source. All right. So November 28th of last year. So this journal here is the original journal that I got on my birthday, October 14th, 2024. And this went to March 24th, 25. And to let you know, I'm getting maybe a month out of my journals now. So that's been a massive shift since last year. All right. So November 28th, 2024. Again, remember, all these videos are timeless. All the information that you're receiving is in perfect timing for your highest and best, always through divine love, divine light, divine truth, divine power, divine wisdom. All right. And your higher self, your team, Source will put it in your presence when you are meant to receive it, and you will receive exactly the right medicine that you are meant to receive in that moment, because this is medicine. Sharing our raw, real frequency and energy is not just medicine. It's activations, it's informations, it's mirroring, it's all of it, okay? It's all of it. I'm just really guided to say that. All right, so I didn't put anything, all right? Because again, my grandbaby was born on the 24th last year, so I was probably busy. So on the 26th, I wrote, I am the I am infinite. I am abundant. And that's like it. That was on the 26th. And then on the 29th, it just says, remember, fear, false evidence appearing real. Fear, false evidence appearing real. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go and let it flow. So that was last year. And this year, on this date, there's a little bit more, and I'm guided to share that. So thank you for staying, listening, hanging out, listening to the transmission, the words, the frequency, feeling into the frequency and energy And again, the mind and ego is not going to always be able to figure out most of the time. It's just in resonance of your soul. So if it feels in resonance to your soul, you'll still be here listening to me ramble, waiting to see what's going to come next. And if not, if it didn't, you will have clicked off. Maybe save it for later. All right. So like I said, the 555, the 444, 222, 1111, 333. See a pattern there? All right. So today is the 28th. So so this morning, so I meditated music, a short one, like 20 or 30 minutes last night before sleep, and then I woke up earlier but listened to 1044 on the clock. I wanted to re-listen to the transmission. I think it was the soul session meditation transmission part of the activation through the Divinely Aligned Collective Sunday live videos. I re-listened to that this morning. The rich activation and recoding. I can't remember if that's the one I listened to or the week after. This one didn't seem familiar, but again, 1111 on the clock. Thank you. And I just, again, I feel, I can feel it. It's really hard to explain, again, as you know, into words, the resonance, the activations, the recoding. Sometimes I can feel it in the present moment. Sometimes I feel it later in the day. Sometimes I don't feel it or am completely aware of that's what took place 3 or 4 days later. All right. So yesterday or past videos, I mentioned the Hawaiian practice of reconciliation, forgiveness, and emotional healing. It's the Ho'oponopono practice, prayer. Okay. Ho'oponopono. And I'm really called to share this because this is what's really helped me in this healing process. When it was first presented to me, it was in a cacao ceremony in February and around Valentine's Day, a very sacred remembrance in time for me and my partner, and what woke up and activated my inner child to be brought forward, for her to kind of come out of her hiding spot, out of the closet. I'm gonna cry, I'm getting goosebumps, to be looked at and to be healed. That was the beginning of that process, to go inward and to feel and to start doing the deeper work. Okay, that was the catalyst, that was the activation, that was the mirror, that was the trigger. And in that, she had us do the Ho'oponopono, and not to our partners or who may have come to the class, but other members in the class. And basically, there's a couple ways you can do this. I've done distance and direct. So you sit across from each other, hands, so you connect. And I always like to set the intention that we're here to connect. Set your intention of whatever you're setting to attend, and you literally stare into each other's eyes, into that soul looking into each other's. And that's right there, just doing that without any words is a challenge for human beings at this point on planet Earth. It really is. It's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. Unfortunately. And hopefully we can get back to these ancient practices. And you basically say, you take turns, and you say a few rounds and take turns, and you say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm going to add this. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I forgive you, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I forgive you, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I forgive you, thank you, and I love you. So you repeat this, and you're trying to not break eye contact, break connection, okay? In this, there's usually what comes up as tears and crying and whatever is triggered and needs to be released, okay? So the inner child didn't come out until the meditation afterwards, which was quite profound. And I used this once that was activated, this ancient Hawaiian practice of reconciliation, forgiveness, and emotional healing. I resonated with it deeply. Again, most of us are past lives in Lemuria, Mu, and Atlantis in many timelines, on the Atlantean timeline as well. So, again, resonance with the Hawaiian culture, the Mus. All right. And for me, and again, eventually the stories will be shared in the right time in space. With the year of the 9, there are some things that were dug up that I had put away that needed to be looked at between my partner and I, and decisions were made. But anyways, once things kind of came back into full circle and I had done more work, and anyways, long story short, when we reconnected after a sacred pause that Source, our teams, had put us in, because I presented the Ho'oponopono, eye contact, hands contact, outside in nature, next to a convergence. So here in Midland, we have a convergence. We have 2 rivers that converge into one. So it's very powerful down there, and it's a convergence. It's a very sacred space. Okay. So the other way you can use this sacred Hawaiian tradition is you can distance. You can use it in meditation. You can, if you're family members. So I've definitely distanced Ho'oponopono for family members that I'm in no longer contact with. So mentally, in a meditative state, I will mentally send this energy, this frequency of love, light, positive, and healing energy with this to them. Okay. And again, repeating over and over and over again, and that's going to help cleanse, clear, trigger. That can be part of your healing process. It's been very beneficial for me this entire year when it was presented in February, and it will be continued to be part of my practice when it feels called and when I feel called to use that. And so I had used it here in the past week or so, many different ways, shapes, and forms, but definitely sharing that distance with family members or my partner's family members. Again, just sharing that frequency and energy and that practice of reconciliation, forgiveness, and emotional healing. Remember, for us and for them, and whatever that connection or that contract is, okay? Because a lot of contracts have been torn up too as well this year, between friends, family members, workplaces, all of that. All right. So hopefully that'll help some of you guys with this healing journey. And again, it continues to help me. It just continues to help me. And hopefully it helps you as well. Okay. All right. And you can send it out to the collective as well. So I've done my Care Bear stare, you know, like we all know the Care Bears for the Aries. So when I do send out love out into the universe, out into the collective, I will do my Care Bear stare, imagining that I'm holding hands with my guides or my angels or other people in the collective, and just we're doing this big Care Bear stare and just sending light, love, positive, and healing energy to those that need it in that present moment. Then also I've guided this as well into the collective. So just see how that resonates for you, see how it fits, see how it feels saying it. And it is triggering, it's activating, it's definitely with that mirroring of the eye contact and the touch is huge. It's very powerful. It is very, very powerful. Okay. And sit with that. If you sit there and you're starting, let's say you're doing this with a parent or a sibling or a child or whatever, and you both, if there's, let it flow. Don't break contact. Just keep going, and you'll find the spot where it's the right time to stop that. All right. All right, so there's so much that came through in this transmission. I will just kind of pluck through and see what I'm guided to share. So let's see here. I'm ready to receive the wisdom I have earned throughout this journey. So I'm ready to receive the wisdom I have earned throughout this journey. Like I said, the power of 3. May it be, may it be. I am ready to receive the wisdom I have earned throughout this journey. I am open to the ancient knowing that my transformation has unlocked. I am open to the ancient knowing that my transformation has unlocked. I am open to ancient knowing that my wisdom has unlocked. All right. So those are just really, if you want to write those down, repeat them. All right, so again, these are just like little blips that I pulled up out of. So some might sound more like mantras or affirmations, but this one says, stop trying, stop reaching, stop grasping for meaning or messages or mystical experiences. And you can see where that lands for you. Stop trying, Stop reaching, stop grasping for meaning, messages, or mystical experiences. Okay? Your cellular memory activation. Ooh, do you know what? I just got a hit. Maybe that'll be on some light language I can share. Cellular memory activation. A little bit of tingles in my legs. I'll meditate and see 20:22 on the clock. All right, so just remember, through this journey, you have to be broken down before you can be built back up. And we know this, the collective and personally, in our interpersonal universes, okay? You have to be broken down before you can be built back up. You had to release the stories that you kept. You had to release the stories that kept you small. You had to release the stories that kept you small before you could download the codes that reveal your vastness. So we had to release the stories that have kept us small. It's part of that healing process, that shadow work, that dark night, that introspection, that healing, before you can download the codes that can reveal your vastness. You had to grieve what is ending before you could calibrate to what is beginning. You had to grieve to what is ending before you could calibrate, celebrate. Sorry, that's celebrate, not calibrate, but for some reason I said calibrate. What is beginning? So there's a lot of grieving. And for me, there's conscious grieving and then unconscious grieving, like grieving past selves through all timelines, spaces, dimensions, portals, and realms, known and unknown, seen and unseen, but as well as generational grief, okay, that has been brought forward in the lineage, soul lineages and bloodlines, okay? It is not cruelty, it's precision. So sometimes we feel like I've never really sat with like feeling like I never had that, but that came through from maybe someone feels like that. Then just as a reminder, it is not cruelty, it's precision. It's timing, it's a chess game, okay? All right. The most cosmic form of midwifery. So everything we've been going through as of late, this has been the most cosmic form of midwifery. Okay? We, me, you completed the preparation cycle. So we've been in this preparatory stage. And I thought that when Zero and Courtney came through yesterday about the lobster, it was perfect. I completely resonated with, yes, we keep hearing this cocoon phase and butter and caterpillar soup and emerging from the chrysalis, but that didn't quite really fit with where I was at, she was at, some of us are at. It just didn't. So I think the lobster is a better fitting, and that actually kind of came through in this channeled message. So Courtney's quote, the past no longer matters, it doesn't exist. So in case somebody hasn't seen it, heard it, that is part of that collective, the past no longer matters, it does not exist. So if you're continuing to bring forth things that were hurtful or painful on your end, their end, if they're bringing forward, they're still needing to do the healing work. So let's say a parent is still bringing up something to trigger you, and you're just kind of in that neutral state. Your entire perspective, just give no non-reaction to it. But they're still holding on to that fight, that issue, whatever the problem is. You knew what I'm saying. They're still bringing it up. I think one, to see if you're triggered, to see if you're healed, and if you're non-responsive, if you're just neutral, if you're non-reactive, they're still needing to heal that. So when they're able to, again, it's the past. Let it go. Let it the fuck go. It doesn't exist anymore. Delete, erase, it's gone. Yes, the experience happened, the memories, just let it go. It doesn't do you any good to bring it forward, but the ego and the small self definitely always want to just kind of keep stirring the pot, creating shit storms, okay? And there's our sunshine goes away. But you know, it's the sun was shining, source is here. Source is always here. But definitely now it's like full-blown clouds. I think we're supposed to get some snow, but we're still getting some gentle light codes coming in. All right. The more fun you have, the more abundance finds you. So this was another like little thing I saw. The more fun you have, the more abundance you find you. And I had so much, again, get excited. My energy is a little different than yesterday, as it will be later, but it's just, I was so joyful and full of love and happiness and gratitude yesterday. I couldn't express it in my words. So hopefully y'all that watched my videos from yesterday could feel my energy and frequency, that I was emanating this abundance of joy and happiness and peace and bliss and gratitude and all of that. Okay. All right. I think that might be okay. Maybe I'm guided to read this part of the transmission. You're not falling apart. You're falling together. You are not falling apart. You are falling together. You are not falling apart. You are falling together. Okay. You're falling together in a new configuration. This new configuration can hold more light and more love and more truth and more power, more purpose than what was possible than your previous you, your previous form. I thought that was pretty powerful. And like I said, I like had one page and I've already like, I don't know, I journaled almost 10 pages. I was just like, and I was like, it was almost like I was aware but unconscious. It was like consciously automatic writing, just right. What do you shit that's in here? Right. Okay, stop, rewind. Okay, did I get it? My brain get it? And it was like 10 o'clock. It was incredible. Like, again, unless you've experienced it, it's hard to put into words. Okay. So this is the part that I wrote lobster underneath it because it resonated with Courtney's message yesterday. Okay. Take a drink, take a breath. Feel into this, see how it settles in with you. You are raw and vulnerable and open. And I wrote underneath like a lobster because that's what perfectly, and again, don't feel stupid. I put a message in the comments like, I had no idea that's how it worked with lobsters. I had no idea. All right. So you are raw, vulnerable and open. And that is exactly the state that is required for deep transformation. You are raw, vulnerable, and open and soft. And that is exactly the state required for deep transmission, and transformation. The ego, the small self, cannot download stellar wisdom because it thinks it already knows everything. That came after that. The wounded self cannot receive cosmic codes. So that's why we must do the shadow work. We must do the introspection. We must do the healing. We must forgive it all. Okay? All right? The wounded self cannot receive the cosmic codes because it is too busy defending against further hurt. So the wounded self cannot receive cosmic codes because it is too busy defending against further hurt. But the authentic self, this, you, me, us collectives that are sharing our real, raw, true, authentic frequency and energy, our true authentic self, our true soul's blueprint, our soul's true frequency. Okay? The authentic self stripped bare. Okay? It's been stripped bare. Okay? So that there's, okay, so the authentic self stripped bare by a month of, so in this past month, our authentic selves have been stripped bare of relentless transformation, soft, receptive, and finally willing not to know. Okay? So, being soft and being receptive and finally willing to not know how, the why, the what, the when, the where, all of that our small self, our ego is still constantly trying to, you gotta let it flow. Like I said, be the twig on the river and the leaf. All right. Do not let's see here. Do not strive, do not effort, do not try to make something happen or force some particular experience. So this has been a big lesson this year for me. excuse me, and I mentioned it, I believe, yesterday. Do not strive, do not effort, and do not try to make something happen or force some particular experience. Whether it's sending a text or sending information, send it if you're called to send it. Don't send it because you're trying to get some type of validation or attention, or because you're trying to fill those abandonment spots, whatever it is. Just send it if you're called to, and let it sit. They will receive it in the exact perfect way they were supposed to, according to their higher self and source and their team. All right. Allow the rest. Let me go back. I'm sorry. All right. So surrender to the mystery, surrender to the surprise, surrender to the mystery, allow the rest, accept the gifts. Surrender to the mystery, allow the rest, accept the gifts. Okay. There's a lot more that, but I just don't feel called to kind of go into that. We're 30 minutes into this video. Okay. And again, I'm guided to share. If you want to see this, hear this transmission channeled message, you can go to, like I said, this has been in my field for a while now, and it's Chosen Chronicles, and it was posted yesterday. All right. And just make sure you're getting the right channel. If you're called, you don't have to. And then you can see if you resonate with that particular style of channeling. All right. So that's all I'm guided to share out of this currently. Also, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Take some time, watch that movie. I'm going to rewatch it at some point. I'd love to share that with my partner and see what he thinks of it. But it's not one of those movies you can really like discuss. It's one of those movies you just need to sit and digest. And like I always set my intentions now when I'm watching something, that I'm receiving any key codes, signs, and synchronicities. So pay your attention. To understand what I'm meant to understand, if I'm meant to understand it at all, but if there's any resonance with my soul, that it will be exactly right, and I'm only going to receive what I'm meant to receive for my highest and best. I just always kind of set those intentions around any type of movies or media at this time. And it was one of those where you just kind of need to sit and digest and not really talk about, and then maybe rewatch and see if it activates you, triggers you, awakens you. It was made in 2022, which is pretty funny. But it was a really good movie. So if you're guided, I've been having that dropped in my awareness for a few weeks now and just have been avoiding it. 3222 on the clock. So I finally sat down after doing all my stuff yesterday and watched it and paid my attention to it. And it was a good movie. It was a good movie. But again, everyone's going to receive it in their own way, in their now present self, at where they're at. So that's why it was good to maybe revisit movies that you haven't seen for years, that it's going to, you will receive what you were meant to receive in a whole completely different way, or see things in a completely different way. That again, there's stuff embedded in these. That's why the mindfulness of it, as well as there's things embedded in codes and information and truths, or all of that. Okay. So if you're called to everything, everywhere, all at once. And when my partner asked me, I said, I can't explain it. It's just everything, everywhere, all at once. Everything, everywhere, everything, all the time, everywhere, all at once, or something like that. I'm getting tongue-tied. So I'm going to pull a couple oracle cards, and then I'm going to let you go. So I went to the wellness store today. I left the house today, and I didn't plan. I went to get an incense and maybe some candles. I don't even know where I put the candles. They're over there, they're like ceremony candles or meditation candles. They're just like the long ones. I've never used those before, so I thought I'd get a couple of those for the holiday and use, at different things. And, I was really called. I just kind of walked around, and I wasn't planning on getting a stone or anything. I was really called to this particular area, and I saw these. Okay. It's a heart. I'm really excited for this stone. So I'm going to get my glasses back on before I do the oracle call. Thank you again if you've made it this long, for hanging out with me. I love you guys. And again, thank you for the subscribes. It means the world to me. It really does. But again, even if I didn't get any extra subscribers or likes or shares, I'm okay with that. I'm just here putting my real, raw, authentic frequency and energy out into the universe. So again, that's why we're here. This is called a Shiva shell. Oh. So if you know anything about Shakti and Shiva, okay? Shakti and Shiva are twin souls, okay? So some of you might resonate with Shakti and Shiva, but again, when you're in a twin soul journey activation, the Shakti and Shiva gets activated, okay? The Shiva shell, sometimes called the Pacific cat's eye, which again, I've never heard of any of this, okay, has been believed to open the third eye. So maybe there's a reason why I was guided to that. Open the third eye, with which transforms and transmute negative energy. Lord Shiva is worshipped in Tibet, in Sri Lanka. She loves seeing Sri Lanka. The gem's name is derived from Lord Shiva's third eye in the middle of the idol's forehead. Wouldn't that be cool? Just glue that on my head for the rest of the day. Shiva's eye is a significant divination and transforming crystal, which helps you find a new path in life. It symbolizes the creation, preservation, and destruction of all from the flow of life. The consistent change in the world, spiritual knowledge to creative visualization. It's known as mermaids' money. So who connects to the mermaids? Mermaids' money. And is thought to be good luck, a good luck charm for the fishermen. Physically, this stone is used in crystal healing for kidneys, pancreas, and liver, lymph nodes, spleen, and leukemia issues. There's a lot there. So maybe someone needs to get a Shiva heart, okay? And again, the colors on this you can't see. It's like this just beautiful purpley, I don't know, you can't really see it, but go ahead and look at that. Maybe that'll resonate with some of you, that maybe you need to get a Shiva shell. I was called to it for a lot of reasons, but mainly probably for that third eye of mine. All right, we're almost done here. I'm gonna pull What's the Vibe? Again, just a couple oracle cards here. Again, see if it resonates, if it's for your highest and best, if it, you know, triggers you, activates you. It says, oh yes, I resonate. All right, Source, what does the collective need to see and hear today from What's the Vibe Oracle deck? Please and thank you. So I've seen this, so I'm gonna pull it because every time I shuffled, I saw this. So some of you might be suffering in silence, or maybe some people that you're connected to might be suffering in silence. Unspoken desires, real feelings, and broken dreams. So what I'm getting from that is maybe you feel like you can't share your true authentic self. Maybe you're afraid of your unspoken desires on, you know, what you want to do, what you want to create. Maybe you feel like some dreams have been broken, but maybe this is the guidance and then help you to kind of step out of that. Okay, broken silence. All right, so let's take a look, see if that other card comes out. What else, Source, do we need to for the collective today? Please and thank you. Love you guys. Thank you for hanging out. So much fun. So much fun. I've been really enjoying these videos, even though when I really don't know what I'm going to talk about, even if I'm just talking about some stuff I jotted down in my journal, if I'm called to do some light language. So again, the What's your vibe today? Today, again, we've got the beautiful purples and the pinks and the, she is smoking, the birthday candles. Maybe it's your birthday. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. So we got good vibes now and in the moment. So maybe you just need to spend more time, again, considering being present, being now, staying in that moment, in every now present moment, okay? Sometimes we always need that little reminder. We're feeling kind of stuck, like, ugh, how can I be present in this now moment? Just sit here and sip on your tea. Stare into the flame of your candle. Put some ocean fire crackling. If you have a fireplace, sit in front of the fire. Oh my gosh, that would be glorious. My future home will have a fireplace for sure. A real one, not a gas one. One where you have to actually have real wood. All right, so this is locked. So moved on, nothing to say, stop calling. So again, we've the holidays are going to be a huge mirroring, activating, cleansing, clearing, where you are not addressing things. So if you need to stand and block people, if you need to block people for a little bit, if you have a hard time not responding to texts, like, just like, I hate to see it go gray rock, ghosting, block them. But if not, if you're able to just not look at the text or read it, just hold on to it, maybe put it into a folder, look on it later. Okay, so someone might need to see that today. All right, is there anything else out of this deck? I want to pull an Earth Magic card. It's been really called. I've been really digging the Earth Magic cards for these just videos and not card pulls. Oh, there's the Divine Feminine. Here she is. Here we are. And I'm not just talking about the Divine Feminine. I'm talking about remember, we hold aspects of Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine no matter what gender you are, okay? But I am a feminine embodying my Divine Feminine, but I also had to balance my Divine Feminine and my Divine Masculine. Does that make sense? Hopefully that does, okay? So my Divine Feminine energy is gentleness, nurturing, and mothering, okay? And then the glow up card came up. It came up the other day, so we are glowing up, okay? God up, source up. New opportunities, new careers, and successful businesses. So this is coming out in a lot of tarot readings that are presented to me. It's coming out in a lot of channeled messages. Get ready. Us first wavers, new opportunities, new careers, new successful businesses. Your business is growing and expanding. You're physically glowing up because your aura is expanding. You've cleaned the debris out. And when you do that, you emanate this light from the inside out. If you start seeing babies look at you, kids look at you, stare at you, if you turn somebody's head out of, it's because they're picking up on your essence, your aura, as it's expanding, it's getting brighter and brighter. Dogs are another one, cats are another one. So pay your attention. That a good sign that you're glowing up is, and that's from the inside out, is children, babies, just strangers might come up to you and have conversations and share their whole life story. Dogs, cats. I've always kind of had that, but I've noticed it more for sure. So that's a sign. All right, thank you, Source, on that. So we're going to follow that around. Earth Magic. Again, this is my very first ever Oracle deck, and it just sat up there kind of as decoration for years. And then I decided to pull it out, and then I got another one, and then I got another one, and I got some tarot, and now I'm just very called on pulling cards. And again, I think it's part of the exercise. So shuffling, one, it's fun to play cards. I usually divinate with cards for myself more than anything. I don't pull for the collective unless I'm started doing it with you guys, or certain people close. But again, you have to kind of get, you got to get permission. So talk to their higher selves, and if you're not sure, just don't pull on someone else's energy, because that's kind of rude, meant to say. So make sure you get permission. Just like if you're doing Reiki, a Reiki practitioner, if you're doing distance Reiki and you don't get their verbal consent, meditate, check in with their higher selves. If you're not sure, you can divinate with a pendulum and do muscle testing. And if you're just not sure, again, don't, because that's, again, crossing boundaries, okay? All right, thank you. I was just meant to say that. So Source, please, and thank you. What does the collective need to see for today out of this Oracle deck? All right. Oh, choose 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And DNA, karma. So the karmic contracts are coming due. That's been coming up as well, with the retrogrades and the Saturn and all of that. So we got the Green Man. Can you find the Green Man in there? The reflection. There's a lot going on in here. Where's he hiding? He's hiding in there. Synergy. Synchronicity, synergy. I can't see him today. There he is. So, synergy, Green Man. Ancient healing wisdom. So, this is really fun. This came out because also in that channel message is we've made space. So now ancient wisdom is going to be reactivated. It's going to be awakened. Ancient wisdoms that have been dormant, abilities that have been dormant. Okay. Shaman. So I've definitely been a shaman in past lives, and probably many past lives for sure. In one of my recent past life regressions, I was a shaman, and I was brutally executed. Executed probably much in all my lifetimes in one way, shape, or form. Ancient healing wisdom, okay? Shaman. So that probably resonates with the collective. All right, when it came out was the Vision Quest. The Vision Quest. So again, we've got our Nevadas, the deserts. Okay. And I'm guided to read out of the book for that one. So I'm not sure what we're meant to hear out of the Vision Quest. Vision Quest under desert. So again, we're 45 minutes in. Thank you, beautiful souls, for hanging out with me. Co-creating, playing, weaving. I've heard that with Activation JJ. We're here weaving together. Weaving, weaving, weaving. Some of us are weavers. I definitely resonate with being a weaver of energy and frequency. I can't see it, but I somehow can feel it and pick it up. All right, desert. That one came out too. Okay. The last two came out back to back. Desert and DNA. All right, Vision Quest. Let me take a quick drink. Throat chakra still doing its clearing. It's the last activation. All right, this card is arid. This card, scratch, delete, repeat. This arid climate zone that we call desert. Images shift and change throughout the day, yet always maintain a sharp and defined presence. Those hardy species of flora and fauna that have found a home in the desert have adapted over eons to the relative harshness that's a strong characteristic of these lands. Throughout history, we've passed down many stories of people wandering the desert, often there about religious figures and ascended masters who had journeyed there and returned to their people with remarkable visions. The desert is an ideal place to seek vision, or more accurately, to allow a vision to come to you. The quiet and peace of such an environment is a conducive to the solitude required to have this type of profound experience. Spending time in this region without the usual accompaniments of the civilized world can present survival challenges, or at least seem to, and this could rightfully be called a spirit quest, where through steadiness in this seemingly bleak environment, it becomes possible to receive direct guidance from your spirit internally and in the world around you. All right. DNA was the next one. Karma. Those contracts. Oh, we got the snakes, of course. Yeah, almost done with the year of the snake. Up and down the pole. DNA. Activating our light code DNAs. We're being activated. Elevated. All right. DNA. Karma. Karma is a concept in many Eastern religions in Sanskrit word implying the greater universal law of cause and effect, providing an implied code of ethics within the structure of the seemingly endless cycles of death and rebirth. Fitting for everything we've been through. Cycles of birth and death and rebirth, okay, which we experience throughout our lives. In many different versions, the mistaken notion about karma is that it's some kind of punishment, but it's far from that. In fact, in its pursuit in its purest form, it simply asserts that our conduct in this lifetime will determine our next incarnation. My apologies. It has also come to mean how our behavior and actions in this lifetime create consequences in a slightly different version of the golden rule. We not only carry our soul's karma into this lifetime, but also embedded in the complex coding of our DNAs. our collective karma, okay? Our DNA is our genetic ancestral karma, ancestral line, soul lineage, blood lineage. The double helix structure of DNA contains codes that have been passed down from our parents and grandparents and so on and so forth, as well as our ancestors. Therefore, we have some of the same genetic information that comes from the DNA of very early humans. In this card, we see two intertwined serpents with double helixes on either side. Variations of this archetypal image exist in many cultures, both traditionally and contemporarily. It's a graphic representation of the most ancient ancestry that we can lay claim to. Our DNA, the fundamental substance of our life that provides sustainable determination of our life path. So I like, some people say good karma, bad karma. I like to say karma and dharma to kind of separate it. I just like that verbiage better. And so again, we're not just clearing our karma, we're clearing collective karma in the genetics and the DNA. We're also clearing our personal karma, that our partner, all of it. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. If you know, you know. So what this is like those karmic contracts are coming due, and those people that are meant to receive their karma will receive it, but us who have also done the work will be receiving our quote-unquote good karma, our dharma, right? The universe will be presenting us with our dharma, all right, for doing the work. So thank you again for hanging out with me, beautiful souls. I will talk to you in the next one. Love you.